Yeah.
Giggs.
Yeah.
G-I-G-G-S. No. Rhodri.
Is there anything that Lionel Messi is better than you at?
It's opinions. I respect your opinions. Maybe in your opinion, Messi is better than me, but in my mind, I'm better than him.
I do it again.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Do roll like a Mack truck, country heart. I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month. I don't rap much. I just hit the money and go stack up. Only buy cars, take it tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up.
Hey guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Ace Podcast Nation, the home of Rhodri Giggs on football. This is episode number 27. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Ace Podcast Nation, of course, your home to many great shows and series featuring top guests, expert analysts, and more. So please do follow social media. Please do give us a follow and all that good stuff. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. Click the bell for notifications so you never miss any of our interviews, content, all that good stuff. Really helps us out if you drop a like and a comment, etc., etc. And if you prefer your podcast in audio form, then get stuck into the Sports Social Podcast Network, the UK's first all sports podcast network. You'll find all our content there, including Rhodri Giggs on football, among other things. But just as we wait for a few of the latecomers and the stragglers, as we prepare for the big Wales game in about 15 minutes. But we got the Super 6 update, as it were, as he waits for it to load. So let's have a look how we did this week. I think it was quite a low-scoring round. Yeah, low-scoring round this week. Lots of 0 points. None of us got into double figures. But with 9 points, David Leitch and Gareth Price were the best of a bad bunch. Andy Campbell came out top of the celebrity players. And Rhodri finished a mighty 1 point ahead of me. So he cut my lead over him to 8 points. Nice and comfortable still. Next round, 3 o'clock. So make sure you check it out. Make sure you get your predictions in and all that stuff. But as always, mate, I am joined by Mr. Rhodri Giggs. How are you, my friend?
All right, Bet. How you doing?
All good. Ready? You ready for tonight now, mate? Excited?
Yeah.
Buzzing?
Ready to go. Lights are flashing. What are we? 5-7 minutes. Palms are starting to get a bit clammy.
Yeah, it's tricky. So I know. Look, I realise that not all our viewers are Welsh, and not all our viewers just want to talk about Wales and Austria. But the fact is, it's a World Cup playoff, so it's going to be a Wales versus Austria heavy show. However, we are going to talk about other stuff as we're going along. We'll answer questions and all that good stuff. Get your predictions in just before kickoff. I'd like to know what people think is going to be the score. Rob Boyle straight away, 4-0 Wales. Here we go. Even Borough fan. Look, I did just say to you though, mate, I fancy if Wales get an early goal, I can see Wales winning relatively comfortably. I'm not sure it'll be 4-0, but like a 2-0 or something, or maybe like that. If it drags on at 0-0 for a while, that's when I think I could start to see Wales having a few issues, because they have got a pretty young squad. And Gareth Bale haven't played. He's in the starting lineup, so
I've got like a Wales win, but both teams to score. So see how we go.
Yeah, I think I saw a few people questioning like Wayne Hennessy's selection in goals. And I just couldn't really get my head around that because Danny Ward's out injured, so he cannot play. It's not happening. So they haven't really out of the 3 goalkeepers. The other 2 are youngsters. The other 2 keepers in the squad. So and Wayne Hennessy's been, he's over the years been very, very good. He's been good for Palace. I think he's a more than capable deputy for Danny
I think
Ward.
he's got experience in this kind of situations as well, which is key. Sticking a young fella in, he could get nervous and make a clanger. You never know, but Hennessy's never let Wales down, so I have no issues with it whatsoever.
Not at all, no. I think if anything, I'm quite more than I get to curse it now, but I'm more than happy with Wayne Hennessy in goal. He's always done all right for Wales. He's doing he does good for Palace. He's a very underrated keeper in many ways. Always seems to get linked to those kind of bigger clubs, but never quite gets the move over the years. And obviously, he's in the latter part of his career now. So we have got lots to talk about away from Wales. But just before we move to some other subjects, before the game sort of kicks off and that, what do you think the score is going to be, mate?
2-1.
Both teams to score 2-1.
I think it's going to be 2-1. Yeah, I think it's going to be cagey. Unless someone gets an early goal, but still, then it's going to be a real good game. But I still expect a Wales win. But if Wales don't get an early goal, it's going to be a nervy. I think we've been here before with these nervy games, these one-off games. If you get beat, you're out. So we'll have to wait and see. But I fancy it tonight. Home, like I say, home, full crowd, good atmosphere, big players playing. Yes, Austria are a good side, but I think the home advantage should see us home. But Austria's an old mugs. It's no gimme this.
Absolutely not. And I mentioned last week that I'd seen a few people kind of looking past it, talking about Ukraine or Scotland, and I was like, "Oh, don't be doing that," because I think Austria they're a very good team, and you need to be very wary of it. I'm sure Robert Page will have them well drilled. Leslie says, if Wales win tonight, does that take them to another game, or is that the World Cup? So if Wales win tonight, they play the winner of Ukraine and Scotland in the final, which is going to be played at a later date because of the ongoing situation in the Ukraine. And actually, do you know what, mate? If I look at it on paper, out of those 3 games, so you've got Austria, Ukraine, and Scotland, Austria is the one I'm most uncomfortable about. I think we beat Ukraine, and I think 9 times out of 10 we could beat Scotland. It's such a big occasion, the Scottish game, but Austria is the one out of the 3 which I'm more concerned with, if that makes sense. You reckon?
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. Sorry, I was just listening to the national anthem. Come on, yeah, 100%. Like I say, that they've got a strong squad, strong team out, a packed house. But like I say, it's no gimme. And yeah, Austria. There's no standout players. Anatovic, probably people will know him. But other than that, but like I say, they're a good team. So, be a good game.
Yeah, I think. Do you think it's going to be like a nervy game, or do you think it's going to be open and free flowing?
Well, it's hard to say. It's going to be one or the other, isn't it?
Wales at home, mate, should be getting first 10 minutes
straight on the front. It's all about the start, mate. Straight on the front foot, crowd behind them, chances. If then you get an early goal, you could get an hatful. So it's all about. We say this about any game, but this one particularly. Get an early start. Let's get up there and let's get some chances in the box, some chances made, and put some pressure on them early. Get the crowd behind us, and then hopefully get a goal and then just go from strength to strength.
It's do you think so? Here's a quick one for you. Rob Boyle says it may be controversial to some Cardiff fans on this page, but I would take qualification for a World Cup over a Cardiff City promotion, and I would, mate, absolutely. Not even debatable.
Yeah, because the Premier League, you could go on a run like he did with the Euros and get in the semi-final, quarter-final, and that'd be a great feat, wouldn't it? But in the Premier League, you just know it's just going to be a hard old slog, in it.
100%. Yeah, you kind of like if Cardiff get to the Premier League, they're not going to win it. You know, they say it's a fight for relegation. You kind of know what's coming.
No, Wales is debatable if they're going to win it, but
of course, but like we've got to the semi-finals of the Euros. You know, it's going to be one hell of a ride. You're going to compete in every game.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just kind of one of those things. Like, mate, pre-2016, so say 2014. I had conceded in my head as I was about, I don't know, like mid-30s, that I was never going to see Wales compete at a major tournament. And seeing them get to the Euros was like a dream come true. And it was something so special because, you know, I had conceded it was never going to happen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And because it just, you know, we got close a few times and things like the last playoff we played when Mark Hughes was manager and we had the ability to, we had some really good players in that squad and we played the team he played Robert Earnshaw on the right wing and he really fiddled with the tactics in the playoff game and we got unstuck. But to get to the Euros and then go on a run, and you know, we played well in that tournament.
How old are you in 93, 94 then?
About 12.
Oh, do you remember that penalty then?
Which one? Bowden's?
The Bowden one, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember my dad was not happy. I can tell you that much. He never used to swear much in front of me, like, but at that age, like,
yeah.
And he just was fuming, but look, it's exciting, but it's a bit nerve wracking and stuff. I'm really glad to see Harry Wilson in the starting lineup. I got to say, I think he really deserves that spot in the starting lineup because I saw a lot of people who had given their predictions for like what would be their starting 11, and he was often the one that's left out. And actually, I think he really deserves his spot in that starting lineup. He's been outstanding this season, so it's going to be a good one. Right, so we're going to move away from the Wales game just for a second. Jermaine Defoe, mate, has retired today. I know you're like of the same similar sort of era as me. You're a bit older than me, but only a little bit. Like, where does Jermaine Defoe stand in terms of all-time great England strikers, Premier League strikers?
Oh, England strikers, yeah, not high on the list, but Premier League strikers, yeah, I'd put him in a high top 10.
Yeah, he's goal machine, wasn't he?
Yeah, both feet, you know, lively. Did it wherever he went. West Ham, Tottenham. Where else did he go?
Rangers,
wherever
to America as well.
America, wherever he went, he scored goals. So
didn't he go to Italy or somewhere as well? Towards the end of his career, I think he went somewhere abroad.
Yeah, he might have done. Yeah, but yeah, definitely not the top 5, but definitely you could argue for 9, 10 best Premier League striker.
He was linked with United a lot in his when he was young.
Yeah, he was. He was always linked with United. He was, but just at the time, he was just unlucky that we had, at the time.
Van Nistelrooy's and people. No,
like that. Well, before that, it was Andy Cole, York, then Van Nistelrooy, Sheringham, Solskjaer, then probably Forlan come in, done a job, and yeah, it was just it was unlucky for him. But
would you have been happy if they'd signed him?
Oh yeah, he'd have got 30 goals at United every season if he played.
Playing with that midfield, he'd go scored bags.
Yeah, easily. He was a very good striker. But just one of them guys that is just born to score goals. When you play with certain players, you see certain players. Some players you just look at and you go, yeah, he's born to score goals. And Jermaine Defoe was one of them guys.
He seems like a really sound guy as well. Like he does a lot of like
Yeah,
charity
yeah.
work and that, but you very rarely heard any bad stories about him, whether it was his behaviour or his interactions with fans and stuff like that. He seems like a decent bloke.
No, yeah, he seems like a humble kind of guy, and like I say, wherever he went, he done his job and he scored goals. So yeah, it's no mean feat to be 9, 8, 10 best Premier League striker. You know, there's some decent players above him. So yeah.
Yeah, wish him well. Do you reckon he goes into coaching, mate?
Do I see it? Possibly. You know, possibly. You know, these days you think, oh no, I don't see him going into management, and he goes into management. So possibly.
Interesting one. Recently on shows when we were talking about Mikel Arteta and what a good job he's done this year, getting rid of some of the bad eggs and just the football that Arsenal have been playing, getting them back on track. One of the names we mentioned was Mesut Ozil, and Aubameyang, people who they got out of the club. So Fenerbahce have announced that Mesut Ozil's been excluded from their squad for an unspecified reason, for an unspecified amount of time. They gave a quick 26-word statement that there'd be action taken against Ozil and Tufan. Is Ozil like when we look back in 20 years' time, when we look back at his career, is he like almost like a bit of a wasted talent? Because on his day, talented footballer. But like, what's he done since they won the World Cup? And he was young when they won the World Cup as well.
Yeah, I think you get with certain players, isn't it? But it looks like with him that he's had his day in the sun with Real Madrid. Yes, he was sporadically decent performances at Arsenal, but never really consistent. Yes, they had a good World Cup, but that was a very, very good team that he was in as well. But no, he never really seen these problems. I heard these problems at Real Madrid, but soon he's come to Arsenal, and then obviously now he seems to be becoming a bit of an issue. But yeah, it's just a shame because he seems like a very, very good, talented footballer, but just like I say, not consistently good enough.
Yeah,
Or just something wrong with the off-field antics or whatever goes on with him. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it is weird.
He had that one good season at Arsenal, and then after that he barely played. It was like as if, I don't know if it's like one of them where he believes his own hype a little bit, or like, I don't know what it is, because he doesn't seem like a guy who goes out on the piss and does that side of things. He doesn't seem like that type of person. You never know, I guess.
Oh my God, did you see that then?
No, my thing's not. I try to get it up and it's not working. What happens?
They've just
Wayne Hennessy. Did I curse him?
They've just hit the post. He was Austria, yeah, 1-on-1. He was in on goal, 1-on-1. Oh my God, it's like the post and the bar, is it? Let me have a look. 1 minute. Oh no, he's at the bar.
Not a good start.
Oh, it's deflection. The defender's got a nick on it. But yeah,
good work. Yeah, my other worry with the Welsh team today is Joe Rodon has barely played for Tottenham. He hasn't even played in the League Cup games, so it's a big ask to do 120 minutes.
Well, you're thinking it's 120 minutes, but these are young footballers. They should be able to do 120 minutes.
Should be eager for it, shouldn't he?
Back in the day, you do a 10-hour shift and go and play a cup match, and then it goes into extra time. So you've done a 10-hour shift and you've got to play 120 minutes. If semi-professionals can do that, I'm pretty sure a professional can do it.
Yeah, you'd like to think so, wouldn't you?
When he's training every day, yeah, 100%. Yes, they're going to be tired. They're going to feel it at the end of the game, but
it won't matter though, will it?
It's no problem.
Gaz says, "Hope Wales wins for you lads." Go on, Gaz.
Go on, Gaz. Up the hammers, Gaz.
Don't know what's going on with Mr. Ozil, but he's banned from doing anything at the moment. So, Liverpool, mate, are turning the screw on Man City. Last week, you said you still fancy Man City. Is that still the way you feel after another week's gone? Or
Yep. Still not
Liverpool
changing.
Just got that bit more depth, haven't they?
But, they have up in scoring goals. they've got a lot of depth now in scoring goals. They've got Firmino, Diaz, Jota, Mane, Salah. So, and they've got Origi as well. So they've got like 6 options. So yeah, they're probably the favourites now, to be honest. But they still got to go to the Etihad. So, or should I say, the Emptyad. So,
don't get me started on that, mate. I think it's obscene that a team who's been through so much over the years with going down to the lower leagues and stuff, and now as successful as they are, and half the time their stadium's half empty. I just cannot get my head around it at all. Like, you've been through all the crappy times. Why wouldn't you now, when they're one of the better teams in the world, enjoy it? Fill the stadium. Like Newcastle getting full stadiums. It doesn't. I find it difficult to get my head around that. Mate.
Stockport's not big enough to get fit 60,000 people.
Can't help yourself, can you? Can't help yourself. It's more for me for thinking you would give a serious answer. But last week when we was towards the end of the show last week, the Everton fan tied himself to the post protesting oil. And I don't know if you heard, there was a guy on Talk Sport yesterday, and he openly said that he funded, or as he gave these protesters who were going to disrupt Premier League games, he gave them 10 grand funding, this guy, and he was open about it. And I think he's involved in football in some way. I think he's like an owner of a lower league club or something. I can't remember. I came in like halfway through the interview, so I didn't kind of hear who it was and that. But this guy was like saying they've got plans to disrupt more and more Premier League games over the next coming weeks. Here's my thing with this, though. So you've got like the people who were like gluing themselves to the road and stuff, making people late for work and stopping ambulances get by. And then they're going to disrupt football on a Saturday afternoon. This isn't how you get Joe Public on your side.
I disagree. I think it kind of it is, because it's a bigger platform. People. There's millions of people watching the football, where people just lie on the roads. I don't get that at all. But but everyone to each their own. It's stopping people going to work to people going to take the kids to school and go to work to feed the kids and feed the family. People just lying along the roads. Yes, I get it, but with this, you unclip him, 2 minutes later the game's on. But it's there. It's people are seeing it for that 2 minutes. So yeah, it's.
You think you'd unclip him, but Everton came out with those massive bolt cutters and still couldn't manage it.
There's a shot. There's a shot with Bob. Someone's got some bolt coppers in Liverpool.
Jesus.
There's a shot.
Come on now, boo. Atmosphere's tense from what I can hear on the football. I haven't got it turned up.
It's not a good start. It's not a good start. Their play started well.
But this is what Austria needed to do, wasn't it? It was to kill the atmosphere.
Yeah, 100%. No, that's what you'd say as a manager. Let's quiet the crowd down.
Keep the ball.
Yeah.
Because our defenders, we've got a young team, so you put them under pressure, see if they might make a mistake early on, things like that.
100%. 100%. So, and at the minute, can't string like 3 or 4 passes together. So, and Austria putting pressure on us. So you just need to get a grip of the ball.
They need Joe Allen and people like this now to really step up and get on the ball and just get
nice bit of play there. Then Gareth Bale kicks out of play. So
it's not fair.
There you go. Yeah, no, it was just a bad ball.
I'm only playing. So Ten Hag, mate, favourite for United job as we watch. The Vales game.
You must have been listening to me on this podcast.
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you, mate? Obviously, Brendan Rodgers was the favourite, and then once you put that to bed...
Yeah. It's got the info.
Look, Phil Brown made a phenomenal point on social media yesterday where he said he's only a little bit more confident for Ten Hag than he is Pochettino, but he said the reason he would go with Ten Hag is Ten Hag is going to come in with like a fresh opinions, attitudes, everything from the media and the fans. Pochettino, as soon as things get a bit difficult, the media are going to bring up all his failures over the years with Tottenham, with PSG, blah, blah, blah. And then any fans who are on the fence are going to turn on him. Most fans who don't want him are going to turn on him. And it's going to get very toxic and very negative very quickly. Whereas he said, if you kind of bring in Ten Hag and sell it to the fans and media as a 3-year project and how he's going to change things and build on what Ralph Rangnick's done, you can kind of see him getting a bit more time from the media and from the fans. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, to a certain extent. I just think, look at what Poch is doing now, and he's not doing brilliantly, is he? So, going out so early in the Champions League as well with such a good lead, and yeah, they're just obviously how the interview goes. If it goes well with Ben Hag, I fully expect him to be the next manager.
I think he flows on from Ralph Rangnick a bit better as well in terms of what he's kind of put in place already, I would say. But there's going to be big changes. We've talked about that.
Massive change. You're looking at. I'm guessing about at least 10 players. Yeah, at least 10. At least. So then you've got to bring other players in. So are you going to bring in 10 other players? I doubt it. You're probably bringing 4 or 5. And hopefully the sprinkle of youth. Can you bring Garner back? Can he do something? He's done really well at Forest. Every time I've seen him.
They've got a few youngsters, though, haven't they?
Yeah,
out and about. And
yeah, they have. But you can, this is Manchester United. You can't rely on youngsters. But it's in our DNA that we bring these players through. But these are going to be fringe players. I'm talking about the players that are going to replace like Mata, Matic, Lingard. People who are going to be on the bench who can come on.
Yeah, of course.
Or do a job. So, there's 5 that I've just mentioned. But is any of the centre halves going to go? Will Maguire go? Is Martial still going to go? Is Pogba going to go? Is the keeper going to go? One of the keepers. So it's a big job. It's a big job.
I'm fascinated by the Maguire thing because from a PR point of view, whatever you want to call it, if they sell him for like 20-30 million in the summer, they're going to have egg on their face. But I think the way they can get around that from a PR point of view is they can lump all the blame on Ed Woodward, who's now not there. They can kind of say, he wasn't one of our signings, blah, 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 blah. There's ways around it because they do look foolish. They spent whatever it was 80 million? And it hasn't worked out. Which is, if you'd asked me that halfway through his first season, if they were going to then sell him like a season and a half later for half the price, I would have been not in the way.
Well, no, he's been there 3 years.
Is it 3? Is this his third year?
This is his third year, yeah.
First year was good.
Both 2 years were good. It's just this year he fell off a cliff.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Do you think? I know at the start of the season when he came back from the injury, you said you felt like he'd come back too soon, like he had forced him because Varane was out, wasn't he? If I remember correctly,
his first game back was against Leicester and Jamie Vardy running ragged.
Yeah, but wasn't Varane out or something? And so they were short on centre backs, and he kind of probably played when he wouldn't have normally.
Yeah,
and he just hasn't got back to it since then.
No,
and I get like the confidence thing with footballers. I do get it, but there's got to be a point where that's not, that's an excuse. It's not going to fly. And some of his performances this year have been horrifying. It's got to be said. But it is what it is.
Own goals, giving penalties away,
giving goals away as well.
Always your man beating you for the goal because of your lack of pace, your lack of positioning, which is a worry because he's an experienced player. He should know where to be positioned in the pitch. But yeah, it's just his pace. His pace he's just not got the pace. And
but then He's obviously good in the air, isn't he? Yeah,
Oh,
that's one of his main strengths. But how many
he's
times this season
he's
have
very
you...
good on the air and he's very good on the floor. It's just this year people have targeted him and he's been, he was coming back from injury and he's just never recovered.
But then how many times have you said to me this year, just probably since Christmas, that United have conceded a goal from a set piece and it's been his man? At least 3 times you've said something along those lines to me. And he's your captain, your centre half, and he's supposed to be good in the air. That's a problem. No matter how you try and dress it up.
Said it last week. Steve Bruce, Eric Cantona, Brian Robson, Roy Keane, Gary. You go all for these top captains. He's not bringing their captain off for the last 10, 15 minutes. And when Harry Maguire got dragged off the other day, I was thinking, wow, 10, 15 minutes to go. Yeah.
Not sure what it said though, mate. Is the problem?
It's not good because no other Manchester United captain will be getting dragged off if we're behind.
Yeah, it's a fascinating one. So I'm going to ask you a couple of quick questions about the United before we move on from them. I want to know, I'm going to tell you some names. I want you to just say stay or go. And then if you want to add a quick reason, then feel free. So first player, David De Gea.
Stay.
I should clarify. Is this that you think they're going to stay or is this that you want them to stay?
No, both.
Okay. So David De Gea stay. Tom Heaton. He'll just stay as backup. You think?
Yeah, why would he want to
go? What's the other one? Henderson.
He could go.
Luke Shaw.
Oh. Stay.
Wan-Bissaka.
Go.
Maguire.
Go.
Raphael Varane.
Stay.
Lindelof.
Stay.
And Eric Bailly.
He could go.
And then you've got McTominay.
Stay.
Fred.
Stay.
Oof. You've changed your tune on Fred.
No, I have. I have, and I've seen something that I have not seen before. So I have. And it's been good.
Effort or quality?
No, or both. Both. You always get the effort. It's just the quality, but the quality's been decent. Maybe just to keep him further up the pitch instead of being,
where he plays for Brazil.
Yeah, very good.
Rashford.
I'd keep Marcus. I'd keep him because he's still got something. He's a young lad. There's something going on with him so obviously that needs figuring out, and then there's a player in there somewhere. So we've seen it. So I would keep him.
My thing with Marcus Rashford, if I was a United fan, would be find out what's going on with him behind the scenes, make sure he's all right and all that sort of stuff, and see if there's anything going on that's causing a problem. And then secondly, I would make sure that he wants to stay at the football club once those problems are sorted. If he wants to go or in any way is kind of like, got his eyes on a move away, then I would let him go, even though he's a United boy through and through. Simply because you can't keep players who don't want to be there. And United, part of the problem is the dressing room. So if there's anyone who wants to go, I do think they've probably got to move them along.
Yeah.
And then obviously Martial's already gone out on loan. I'm assuming he's going to go. So then we'll go to Ronaldo, which I didn't think we'd be asking that question, but I think it needs to be asked.
Stay.
Cavani.
Go.
And then obviously Elanga and that, I'm assuming are all going to stay.
Elanga stay. Sancho stay. Pogba gone.
Well, he was the last one I was going to ask you about was Pogba. You think he's definitely gone, do you?
Pogba's gone, yeah. Pogba's gone. But then you've got the outskirts of Lingard, Mata, Matic. All these players make up a squad.
Problem is, though, aren't they all out of a contract?
Yes.
The reason I didn't say about Lingard and Mata, because I was under the impression that they're gone anyway.
I'm Matic. So you're talking 5 players that are at end of contracts and they're going to go. you've got to replace these players, plus the ones that you want to get rid of. So it's not going to be easy. And you're saying, people who want to go, or some people don't want to go because they're on good wage. They're happy to sit on the bench.
Phil Jones, mate. I know he came back. That's another weird one. He came back into the side, had an absolute blinder. Everyone was singing his praises.
It's weird, isn't it?
Disappeared again.
It's weird, isn't it?
So strange, mate. And it makes you wonder if there's some sort of issue behind the scenes that people aren't aware of, which means he cannot stay fit or something. And I don't want to speculate about players' health and things like that, but it is so weird that he's been out for these massive long periods. And like that game he had earlier in the season, he was so good. Everyone was suddenly reminded of why Fergie rated him so highly, and he has literally just disappeared. Not on the bench, nowhere to be seen, doesn't play.
Bizarre. It is bizarre, but you never know what's going on behind the scenes, though, as well, do you? It's just a strange one. So it's just a bizarre one.
Yeah, I hope hopefully everything's all right, and it's just niggly injuries from that side of things. I guess so. Let's move on a little bit from United. Newcastle United are starting.
Do you think they'll get the Champions League?
Who, United? I think they are gonna struggle. I think they probably will. I think they'll probably get fourth. But I do think there's going to be times between now and the end of the season where they're going to be under a lot of pressure. Because I look at West Ham are fading. So you've got that side of things. You've also got then the likes of Arsenal playing well. I just think United should have enough experience and quality to kind of just pinch it. But I think there's going to be some points that they're going to struggle. Lennon Standish says, "Is this Ryan Giggs' brother?"
He's been on my Facebook today, asking me that. Yeah.
Well, are you Ryan Giggs' brother? I mean, it's not as if you look like him whatsoever.
Bale's just scored.
Fuck off.
Free kick. Right in the top corner.
Don't wind me up.
Right in the top corner. Right in the top corner.
Mate, I tell you what, right. If you're winding me up now, I'm gonna end the stream in a sulk. I'd be so upset with you. Get in there. Go on, my son. That's all right. I'm gonna watch that now. Get a live reaction from me.
Right in the top corner. You know what I know? Because someone just messaged me saying boom.
Did you see the free kick? Did you see how it led to it? Yeah, pop a little dig at him in the face.
Oh no, yeah, he's body checked him. It was one that he didn't need to do.
Could regret that, couldn't he?
This is why you're playing, mate. Big game. What a goal! What a goal! What a goal!
He clotheslined him.
What a goal! Oh, the keeper's right there as well.
Well, funny enough, mate, just before we come on air, didn't we? We had a conversation, and I said I probably wouldn't have started Bale. I probably would have kept him to come off the bench, but I fully understand why they've played him. And I said, if you got Ronaldo, you wouldn't not play him in this game because it's such a big game, and that's why. Even though he might not be able to play full on for 120 minutes, he can give you these unbelievable moments.
They're big players for a reason, mate. They're big players for a reason because they turn up in the big moments.
And you mentioned your brother, mate. This is what a free kick that is off the bar. What a free kick. You mentioned, that guy mentioned your brother. Obviously, that position reminded me of his debut goal for Wales, where he banged it in the top corner. But that was his debut, wasn't it? Or was it his second game? No, it was his debut, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember. It's not long ago. We're talking 1990, 93? No.
Shit, it's a long time, isn't it?
Yeah. So you're talking 30 years ago. He scored a lot of free kicks for Wales, though.
He did, yeah. And I mean,
you don't have David Beckham. You don't have David Beckham next to you, do you?
Yeah.
So.
No, and I think it's mad to think that he would have scored more goals if David Beckham wasn't in his side. Like,
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
There you go. Leslie says that Lennon Standish is his burner profile.
Who?
Leslie.
Who? Leslie Coates.
Bizarre.
That's why I say when anyone on a profile when they've got no picture, it's like no,
Yeah.
it's a no for me. That.
Yeah. Oh dear. Tell you what, mate. What did we say? Early goal.
Yeah, well,
25 minutes
it's nearly 30 minutes now. So, and they've not been playing well as well. So Austria have started the better team, but what a goal!
And like you say, that's why you have these big players, your Ronaldos, your Bales, the rest of them, because what happens is they produce big moments on the big games, and that's what wins you football matches. And at the end of the day, Gareth Bale, regardless of what he has done at club level, if people say like he's playing golf and all the criticisms he gets, people forget, by the way, he almost single-handedly won Real Madrid a Champions League trophy the 1 year. But what Bale has done for Wales is he has always turned up. He always gives 110% and runs himself into the ground. And he's very often come up with the goods in the big games. Anyone remember the Scotland game when he scored a couple? Like in those big tight games, him and Ramsey tend to be the ones who pinch us a goal or get us an assist or do something special to be the difference, mate. That's what these players are there for, isn't it?
That's why it's important to have these players in your team. You know, we're lucky enough to have these players. Now, Scotland, yes, they've got good players, but they've not got a world beater like Gareth Bale or Ramsey, I should say. Same with Republic of Ireland, but they've always had good teams. So, but yeah, we've always got when you've got a player like that, you've always got a chance, especially against the good teams. And we've seen that in the Euros when we did so well into the semi-finals. So, yeah, these big players, they do turn up, and that's why they're big players.
Spot on, mate. I want to talk about the Championship a little bit, just as we're watching the Wales game. As always, mate, it's very, very up and down. Oh, I didn't know that. So on the BBC website, it says Man United have actually spoken to Ten Hag.
Yeah, they
have. It's an official thing.
Yeah, they spoke to him yesterday or the day before.
So that's interesting because I thought it was just paper talk. I hadn't seen that. So yeah, I think that's a good choice for him. I think he's probably the best choice. If you look at the names, the other names linked with them, Pochettino's, Zidane's, who else? Brendan Rodgers. I think ultimately Ten Hag ticks the most boxes. Cheers, Gaz. Gaz says, loving the new logo. Nice one, mate. Appreciate that. With that relegation face on the front. Ready for the Super 6 relegation. But shout out to 1010 Jamie at 1010 Media's been sorting out the overlays and the graphics and stuff for the channel of late. And they're looking good. He's doing some good work. And got some interesting shows coming up soon as well. Championship, mate, is all over the place, as always. Anyone can beat anyone. So we had, obviously, Swansea beat West Brom back in February, which was looking at the wrong date. Right, so we got last Sunday, Peterborough beat QPR 3-1, which goes all against the form books almost. But I know Peterborough have pulled it together a little bit recently. But QPR being in good form and Peterborough just under pressure. The Championship table, it is where it is. And they pull out a blinding win like that against QPR. Whilst on the Saturday in the early game, Derby got a late equaliser to equalise against Coventry. So if you're Peterborough, you're coming out that weekend, 2 points gained. Pretty happy, and I think Wayne Rooney probably be a bit disappointed.
Disappointed scoring a goal in the last minute. Depends how well they played, really. But by the sounds of it, Derby played well, and he should have come away with a win. But just scored on the last minute. is always a good feeling. But yeah, Peterborough would have been a sting, and Reading as well.
Yeah, I think the thing which I like.
They all seem to have picked up, and Derby have kind of slacked a bit now, haven't they?
Yeah,
just at the wrong time.
If you're going into the last few games of the season, home to Coventry, I'm sure Wayne would have picked that out as one of the games that he would have wanted to get 3 points from.
You say that Coventry are mid-table 11th, so they're not a bad team.
I know, I know that, but just in terms of some of the other teams within the league, I think a home game against Coventry, you're fighting relegation, you gotta try and pick up 3 points there.
It was at Coventry, though, wasn't it?
No, it was at Derby.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah, definitely. The home games, definitely, mate. Definitely your home games. You target them 100%.
Hardest team to predict in that league, mate, is Stoke. So Millwall, I think, had won like 7 or 8 on the bounce, and then they had a draw.
What you mean? You mean my 5-pointer for Super 6? 2-0 Stoke.
2-0 to do. Well done, mate. That's a shout. That is, because Stoke are impossible to predict. Because 1 minute they'll perform like that, beat a form team 2-0, look comfortable, and then next week they'll lose 3-0 to Derby or something. They're so all over the place. And I'm going to give up every year at the start of the season. I say Stoke are going to go up this year. There he is. It was 5 points. So without that, you'd have been right up shit creek then, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Because I don't know why we went against Bournemouth, both of us. Oh, you didn't? Oh, you went for Huddersfield, didn't you? We both went against Bournemouth. I went for a draw. I know, Bournemouth.
What were we thinking?
I know. So the Bristol City one saved me in the last minute, because you would have had 2-1 and West Brom scored last minute. Reading scored a late goal. That killed me. And then Shrewsbury and Rotherham. Yeah, it was just, I don't know what I was doing there. Gone Shrewsbury 3-0 away from home at Rotherham. Rotherham are top of the league. I've not read the memo there.
No, you have not got with the programme. I want to talk about Luton in a minute, up to 3rd in the Championship and absolutely flying. But just before we move on to that, Rob Boyle says, I tell you what, Nico Williams is an absolute star in the making. I think we said that in the Euros, didn't we?
We talked to it about it before. In January, what does he do? Does he stay with Liverpool or does he go out on loan? Remember,
has to go and play. Yeah, and he went.
Yeah,
he gone to Fulham?
He went to Fulham, and he's been
playing week in, week out.
Yep, top of the league, flying, and playing really, really good. And you see it today. He's just nearly set up a goal with a great bit of skill in the corner. Took 2 people on, and he's looking. You always know he's got energy, but just need game time to get that extra bit of that fitness and. Yeah, he's been
quality,
really,
isn't it?
Yeah, he's been really good. Just unlucky that he's at Liverpool and England's right backs in front of him, because anywhere else in the Premier League he probably would play.
Well, it's funny. So Nico Williams naturally is a right footer, but he plays left back, doesn't he? But I actually think he'd be quite a good right back. But for Wales, he plays the wing back role, and I think that really, really suits him.
Yeah.
Rob has said in the comments now. He says, I think Nico Williams is a winger though, but I actually think his best position is probably as a wing back in a 3 or a 5. I think that.
Well, listen, the modern day footballer now, the fullbacks are like wingers. So you've got to be able to cross the ball, and defending's probably last on the list. But the modern day fullbacks, most of them are not great defending, but they're probably the strength is going forward, and they can defend a bit.
Spot on, mate. So Luton Town, mate, right? Unbelievable stuff. They beat Hull 3-1. Hull have been in good form. Luton, I've been saying all season, really happy for Luton, great side, but they just keep winning. Nathan Jones obviously did a phenomenal job to get him in the Championship. Then he left and went to Stoke.
Yeah,
poison chalice. Never got the players on side and the club on side. And then he's left, and then he's gone back to Luton. And I tell you what, mate, I think it takes a lot of bottle to leave a club as a manager for a bigger club, and not work out, and then go back to the club that you initially left for a bigger club?
Well, not really, because he's probably gone to Stoke and tried to do the same things at Luton, but Stoke is a totally different club.
Different place, different club.
different place. Even though Luton's steeped in history and a big club itself, of late Stoke's a big club as well, and yeah, people have not took it on board, and Luton's more of a team where players will take this kind of stuff on board. Some of the Stoke players are probably ex-Premier League players. This guy's come in and with new ideas, and they're like, and just not took it on board, and more fool them because they're languishing in the Championship, and Luton look like they're going to the playoffs. So yeah, and sometimes it just fits, mate, and you just think, you know what, I was happy there. I can do good things there, and he's showing it. Imagine if Luton got to the Premier League.
I would love that, mate.
Yeah,
I'd absolutely love it. Do you think there's any way they can catch Bournemouth? There's probably not. Bournemouth got 2 games.
I think Fulham and Bournemouth are by far the two best teams in that league, and it's just a fight now for the spots in below him. I think Luton are comfortable and comfortably will do it. They're in good form. And it's a fight now, isn't it? Who's Blackburn are in it?
So the four at the moment.
Huddersfield, Sheffield United, Middlesbrough, QPR. Forest have got 2 or 3 games in hand on teams. So
I fancied Millwall as well to make a late run because they were in
Millwall.
such good form.
But Forest, if you look at Forest, they've got 3 games in hand on Blackburn, and they're only 3 points behind them. And Blackburn are 6. 2 points, 3 points behind Sheffield United with 2 games in hand. 5 points behind Huddersfield with 3 games in hand. So win 2 of them and they go 4th. So yeah, I fancy Forest to sneak in there as well.
Yeah, it's a mad one though, isn't it? Because those 4 teams with the moment, Luton's the only team in the current playoff positions who are in good form. The rest of them are really not.
Yeah, they're mixed, aren't they? They'll win one, they'll get beat. Huddersfield, they'll win one and get beat. Huddersfield been getting beat a lot lately. Sheffield United have a good win and then get beat. Blackburn, got beat off Reading, not good. Middlesbrough, same after their FA Cup win. Probably a lot of games they've played and they're feeling it now. So, but they've still got games in hand. So, yeah, it's going to go to the wire. Oh yeah, we're in here. We're in here. Oh yeah, we're in here. Oh, fucking hell. Alan Ramsey's at the side netting.
See, I think I'm like a minute or 2 behind you. See, that would have been going half time 2-0 up.
Yeah, he should hit the target. He's in. Great ball.
Right, he's on his right foot as well.
Right on his right foot. Good touch. And he's come across it instead of going across goal. Kind of shanked it. Got under his feet. Oh, it's a good save actually. That's a good save. Keeper saved it.
There we go. I like it.
Very good save, in fact.
Just before that, because I'm where I am now, Austria have got a free kick with a dangerous position. So Wales have obviously gone on a counter attack from there. Hennessy does well off that free kick. Came and punched it. Did it a Wales player in the face. Going back to the Championship, mate. I think you've got Luton in good form, Huddersfield, Sheffield United and Blackburn then in the playoffs. They're not in great form, very inconsistent. Sheffield United have been all right lately. But then just outside the playoffs, you've got Middlesbrough in very good form. QPR just lost, so they're slipping up a bit. Forest were on a bit of a run. Millwall were on a bit of a run. West Brom have fallen off a cliff for the last couple of weeks. So I look at that and I think Millwall and Middlesbrough are the two which at the moment, look most likely to make a late run.
No, I think Forest, mate. They've got the games in hand as well. Look, they got 3 games in hand on some of them teams.
I think they've got to find that form. Oh, he should have hit the net.
But you're saying find that form, mate. They've been beating teams like Arsenal and taking Liverpool to the wire. They've been doing well. They're just lacking games now, aren't they? Games that teams are playing games and picking up points while Forest is still in the cup, and so they're just playing catch up.
Yeah, let me just look back at the results. I thought they lost a couple after going on a run. No, I must have got distracted by the cup. Yeah, Forest have won 3 of the last 4, haven't lost a game for over a month. So yeah, I definitely include Forest in that. Forest haven't lost a game in ages, 2 months.
So that mean you stand? Does that mean you stand corrected? Yeah.
I absolutely do. The last time Nottingham Forest lost was against the mighty Cardiff City on Sunday, the 30th of January.
Question my knowledge of football. You're mad.
Well, someone's got to hold you to account to the brutal words that you use. Aaron Ramsey should have gone across goal there, mate, for that chance.
Yeah, it's a good save. It's a good save. You can ask, is he at the target? He's done that. Good save.
Leslie says Borough have got a few in hand as well. Let's have a look.
Yeah, so, 2 games. They've got 2
Borough's
games in hand.
2,
yeah.
Forest have got 3. So actually, I would probably say Borough and Forest are probably most likely to have
So who misses out
run.
then? Huddersfield, Blackburn, or Sheffield United?
I think Blackburn are going to bottle it because the last couple of years, Blackburn had a really good season. Then they had a terrible season. They looked as if they had built a really good squad, but they just couldn't get it together. Then this year, they looked like they were coasting to at least playoffs, and then they've fallen off a cliff. So I actually think they're going to miss out on playoffs. Sheffield United, I'm not massively convinced by at the moment. So probably out with a 4. I think Luton will definitely get there. I think Sheffield United probably get there. And then the other 2 are probably up for grabs.
What, you think Huddersfield will get there as well?
I think Huddersfield might slip down.
Yeah, I don't fancy Huddersfield. I don't fancy Blackburn. I fancy Sheffield United, Middlesbrough, Forest, Luton.
So if you were asking me today to say which 4 do I think will make it, as of today, I would go Luton, Sheffield United, Forest, and probably Middlesbrough. Probably. They would be my 4.
Yeah, I would go for Luton, Sheffield United, Middlesbrough, and Forest.
Yeah, they would be my 4 today. Middlesbrough play on Sky on Good Friday and Easter Monday. So for our Borough fans, who I know we've got a few who watch, that's a good little weekend of games to watch. But yeah, the Championship's mad, mate, isn't it? Like, it's just anyone could beat anyone. Like, Derby are now, bottom 125. Both teams ahead, 3 teams ahead of them have got a game in hand as well. They suddenly look a bit in trouble again because the results went against them over the weekend. It's mad how quick it changes. The one thing Derby have got is if they take it to the wire, they've got a massive goal difference advantage over the other teams in the playoffs, in the relegation zone. So yeah, Derby County look in a bit of trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, I know as we're watching the Wales game and we're chatting, if you have got any questions about any football and whatever, your club, you want us to talk about a certain thing, do get them in and we'll have a chat about it. I was just saying,
mate, I had a phone call.
Sorry, mate. Derby now again, where the results have gone against them, they just look doomed again. I know they'll change again next week, but like they're on 25 points. They're a game behind. Barnsley, Peterborough, and Reading all got a game in hand over them. It looks difficult. The one advantage they have got is if they take it to the wire, their goal difference is just unbelievably better than all the other clubs within the relegation zone. But they do look like they're in a bit of spot of bother now.
Who's that?
Derby. Because they've all the other clubs have got a game in hand, and Derby have only got the 25. Look, it could all change on the weekend. See, the championship is so mad.
6 games left. So what's that? 18 points. They have to win 5 of them, don't they?
Yeah, really. I think realistically,
to have any chance.
What they? How many are they? So they're 8 points behind Reading. So yeah, you're looking at they have to win. Well, they categorically have to win 3 games, don't they, to have any, like, otherwise it's mathematically impossible.
Yeah, they've got to win at least 4, at least, to have any chance, because that's 12 plus.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Reading are not going to lose every single game between now and the end of the season. So, which means the Derby, they got to win 4, maybe 5, 6 to have any sort of real hope of doing it. But didn't you say their fixtures are like unreal towards the end of the season? Oh no, that was Everton, wasn't it? We'll talk about Everton in a sec. But what's Derby's fixtures like? Last 6 fixtures. Let's have a look. Where are we? We're April, aren't we? So they got Preston at home, Swansea away, Fulham at home, QPR away, Bristol at home, and Blackpool away. Some really tough games there, isn't there? Jesus.
Yeah.
Like if you're, so say you put yourself in Wayne Rooney's shoes, they're your 6 games. You've got to find at least 4 wins from there and maybe a couple of draws. Which 4 are you targeting?
Say again, which ones?
Preston at home, Swansea away, Fulham at home, QPR away, Bristol City at home, and Blackpool away.
Well, all the home games.
So that's Bristol, Fulham, and Preston. That's 3.
They have to win 4 games and then try and nick another one. If they get 4 games and it goes to the last game of the season, then that's all you want to be in. Have a chance of in the last game of the season, have it on that game. And if you win, great. But if they win, then you've done all you can. But yeah, you need to let it go to the end of the season.
The one good thing they've got is they've got a couple of teams in there who haven't really got anything to play for. They've got Preston at home. Preston got nothing to play for. They got Blackpool on the last day of the season. Blackpool are not going down. They're not going to make the playoffs. So, hopefully for them, it'll work out that way. The same with Swansea, not playing for anything particularly. Just their cup final against Cardiff. So they've got, they haven't got a great deal going on. And you've got to win those games, basically. It's from Derby's point of view, they would have wanted to play the likes of Peterborough, Barnsley, Reading in those last couple of games. But it'd be interesting, mate. Interesting. Leslie says, don't forget, if Forest play Borough in a playoff, their star player is a Borough player, so he can't play. That's an interesting scenario, isn't it? See, I think that's wrong. Where do you stand on that, mate, in loan players? Because if he's there for the season, he should be there for the season to play in all games for me.
Yeah, it depends, doesn't it, though? Because some loan players are just going on loan, and then they go back at the end of the season, and you knocked us out to the playoffs.
Yeah, so, it's a bit awkward, I suppose.
Yeah, it's very awkward. Imagine that. Imagine that.
Yeah.
You go back.
We're not in the Premier League because you
scored for the other team, and now you're on our side. Yeah, so it'd be a bit awkward. So, yeah, I can see, but yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it?
Frustrating, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is frustrating,
Forest,
especially if you're the player as well. So yeah, definitely
players
frustrated.
just want to play, don't they?
Yeah, 100%.
And you want to play in these big games at Wembley and things like that. So I think it is tricky. Rob Boyle says his dream scenario is Rooney gets relegated with Derby and Lampard gets relegated with Everton. Mate, I gotta say, I think Everton are going down, mate. I really do.
Yeah, so do I. Yep, so do I.
And is that the most shocking relegation in Premier League history? When you where you look at where they were at the start of the season, going into this season,
yeah,
how positive they were with Benitez and all this money and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
it's got to be, isn't it?
Yeah,
I can't think of another one as shocking.
No, I can't think of another with multi-50 million pound players getting relegated. No, I can't.
They had bloody James Rodriguez last year, didn't they, on loan?
Yeah, Rodriguez, Richarlison, Signesson. It goes on.
Sigurdsson, he's the one who's disappeared, isn't he? So was Richarlison still there now? Or did he move?
Yeah, no, he's still there.
So yeah, there's no way they should be in the relegation zone. And look, it's not really Frank Lampard's fault they're down there. Like he's no, it isn't. No, it isn't. But he
hasn't
done anything to change.
No, they haven't foreseen this, have they? So that's their mistake because he's got zero experience in relegation as a player, as a manager, 0. And most of the players have probably got 0 experience as well.
Yeah,
So
couple, maybe
you've got to roll your sleeves up, a bit like they did against Newcastle. But every single game is like do or die. Have they got the players for? Have they got the players for that? I don't think they have. Have they got the manager for that? I don't think they have.
Absolutely not. Do you think when they've brought in Lampard and changed the manager, because of the time they changed the manager, knowing they were hurtling into watching, should they have looked at it as, let's just get someone who's a bit of a relegation specialist, like a Tony Pulis or a Sam Allardyce, someone like that, to absolutely make sure they stay in the Premier League under all, at all costs, and then bring Frank Lampard in the summer?
Well, first of all, why did they bring Benitez in? Why would you do that? He was a Liverpool legend, won the Champions League. Why on earth would you do that? The fans are never, all of them. Yes, you're going to get half it, but then you're going to get a divided fans straight away. As soon as he comes in. Yes, he had a good start, but as soon as you knew, as soon as he has a dip, that was it. And then the dip got, off a cliff where they had to get rid of him. And then they've brought in Frank Lampard, thought they're going to press on, and they've just gone the other way.
But like you said,
when you're getting beat 4-0, 5-0, yeah, you win one week, but the next week you're getting beat 4-0, 3-0. That's a team that's can't do it every week. That's why I'm saying they're going to get relegated, because some of the teams they're playing against, yes, they might have one good week, but then the next couple of weeks they're going to get battered. And when you've got play teams like United, Liverpool, United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Leicester, twice. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's Everton. They haven't got those players. I look at their team and there's no one in there who I'm looking at and I'm thinking they're up for the battle. There's not one player. Maybe Seamus Coleman, Michael Keane, maybe. Outside of Jordan Pickford, maybe. But like outside of them, there's no one in there like the middle of midfield or someone who's going to drive them on and like really sort of, come on, we got to stay in this bloody league. Do you know what I mean? Like, and grind out 3-2 win when you're 2-0 down and all the different things that happen at the end of the season. Reese says players like Dingy or Dineg, whatever his name is at Everton, made comments about when outsiders come in and destroy the family or something, and then their former winger Bernard came out and said something similar. It sounds like a few didn't like Rafa Benitez at the club, but he wasn't particularly popular at Liverpool, was he? Even when he was winning, I remember Carragher, I think it was, said
no.
A lot of the players didn't like him, but he was winning football matches, so they kind of just got on with it. But
yeah.
I mean, the problem is he was going to go in there, mate. He's of the opinion he's a top manager, so he's going to go into the Everton thing and say, I want things done this way because then I'm going to take the club on to X, Y, and Z. And if certain players are not buying into that, it's a battle straight away. And I think we've seen that at United and we've seen that at Arsenal. If everybody doesn't buy into what the manager wants to do, it's a problem and it's a battle. And once you've got a battle between players and manager, it rarely works out unless those players are kind of given the boot. You got to kind of get on board, haven't you? Otherwise, you may as well just not be there.
Yeah, 100%. And it's roll your sleeves up time. It's all right playing nice, pretty football. Sometimes you got to get down and dirty and roll your sleeves up, and yeah, you just got to do it.
I look at like some of the players they've got, like Richarlison and these guys, and I think they're too good to go down. That's
the worry, because it's the Premier League. Everyone's good, so yeah, it's who's got the fight and who's got the experience, the know-how to get out of this that they've got themselves into.
Yeah, sorry, mate, to interrupt you. Leslie just said they mentioned about their running being absolutely horrific. So let's have a quick look at that just to finish us off this evening. Everton's running is when you're fighting relegation and everything's against you. Everybody thinks you're going down. You want a nice, easy run-in, I think, don't you? So I'm pretty sure, haven't they got like Man City on the last day of the season?
They've got next. They've got West Ham. They've got Burnley. Then they've got West Ham. And they've got Burnley, which they'll probably be targeting. But then Burnley are down there as well, so that's not going to be easy. West Ham away, Burnley away, Everton United at home, Crystal Palace, who they've just battered them 4-0. Then they've got Leicester. Then they've got Liverpool. Then they've got Chelsea. Then they've got Leicester. Then they've got Brentford away. Then they've got Arsenal last game of the season. So, yeah, so Sai's obviously gone. So, yeah, they're the fixtures left that Everton have got. That is West Ham away. I don't see him getting anything there. I know you just went for a bit, so just carry on talking. Yeah. West Ham away is the next game. Not easy. Burnley away. Burnley are down there. They'll be fighting, so that won't be easy. And Burnley have got the experience of scrapping and fighting and have that experience to get there. Then the next game is at home to Manchester United. So this is all within a week, this. So the 3rd of April, they play West Ham. The 6th of April, Burnley. And then on the 9th, on the Saturday, they play Manchester United. Then they play Crystal Palace, which has been postponed, so it's going to be rearranged. Then they play Leicester. Then they play Liverpool. Then they play Chelsea. Then they play.
Sorry, is Liverpool their last game of the season? No. Sorry, yeah.
It's been rearranged, so it's to be announced. So it's been put in the middle of Leicester, Liverpool, Chelsea. Then they play Leicester. Then they play Leicester again after Liverpool, after Chelsea. Then they got Brentford. Then last game of the season's Arsenal.
I just struggle to see where they're getting the points from to stay up from the position they're in now.
So that last game of the season is going to be Arsenal going for the top 4 or Everton get relegated. That's going to be the game that everyone's watching because who've United got? I don't know who United got last game of the season, but that's the game. Who
you back in there in terms of manager point of view? Lampard or Arteta? Who would you
rather have? And Arteta's an ex-Everton player as well, so
he's not going to want to send them down.
He's going to have to if he wants to go to the Champions League and get top 4.
It's really a fascinating thing. Like you're never too good to go down, and clubs, players particularly, never seem to learn this. Sorry, I was going to say, I can't remember if I broke up before I said it. Should Everton have brought in a Sam Allardyce till the end of the season? Or similar?
When did they bring him in?
So he was in...
What game did they bring him in?
Lampard's first game was against Villa, wasn't it? If I remember correctly. Wasn't it? Against Gerrard.
Against Villa, and they got beat 1-0.
Yeah, I think that was his first game. I think.
Right. Yeah. So since he's been in, he's got beat. He's won FA Cup. Got beat off Newcastle. Beat Leeds. Got beat off Southampton. Got beat off City. Got beat off Tottenham. Got beat off Wolves. And then they've beat Newcastle. He's only won 2 games since he's been there.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't particularly impressed with his stint at Derby. I thought he was just very fortunate that he had connections to bring in some players like Mason Mount and stuff. I didn't think he was any better than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when they were both managers in the Premier League. I just thought that the media went after Solskjaer a lot more viciously than they did Lampard for whatever reason. It's I can't see him getting the points, but you never know. Like Reese makes a good point in the chat. He says football's so unpredictable. That's why we all love it. Everton could go and win 6 on the bounce, and then it just looks like a comfortable evening. And it's just kind of there. Leslie's got a question for you.
Who said that? Who said that then?
Reese says.
Yeah,
it's
but
unpredictable.
Reese, when we say it before he gets back to the game, because I know he's coming at half time, but before you say that, they've won 7 games in
All season, isn't it?
7 games in 27. So
Yeah,
you're telling
it
me
would take a lot, wouldn't it?
in the next 9 games they're going to win more or less what they've won in 27. This is why we're saying this. Form tells you that he's won 1 game in the league in 10.
But we have seen teams do it. Let's remember. There's been great escapes.
Don't get me wrong. They've got the quality. We know that.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
It's against top sides who also need the points. So I'm pretty sure. Can they beat West Ham? Of course they can. Can they beat Burnley? Of course they can. Can they beat United? Of course they can. But they haven't been, and they haven't been playing really, really well. So can I see him getting anything out of West Ham? No. Can I see him getting anything out of Burnley? No. Can I see him getting anything out of United at home? No. And then the next game, I can see him getting something out of Leicester at home. Then they've got Liverpool away. So they need more than 3 points.
Yeah, it's going to be...
they need... What do they need? They need... Well, they're in the bottom 3 now, aren't they? No, they're
17th.
So they're 25 points. So, and they've got games in hand, but so Burnley. So yeah, they need at least 4 wins out of 11 games.
That doesn't seem impossible, does it? But then, but
it doesn't.
When you go back to the form
and the fixtures with United, Chelsea, Leicester, Arsenal, Liverpool.
Yeah,
What do you do? Do you play a full team? Do you target 1 game, or because this is what I'm saying? He's never been in this position. So okay, we're playing Liverpool at Anfield, and then we've got Liverpool at Anfield, and then we've got Chelsea at home. Mind you, they've got a week rest, so they're going to play the full side. But Everton, Leicester, they play 4 days apart. Do they play? It's a lot to think about.
And has Lampard got the experience, the quality, the mental strength to guide those players through something he hasn't experienced? Because I don't think he's ever been in a relegation battle, has he, as a player?
No, I'm pretty sure he hasn't. But he's got a wealth of experience.
Big games, of course.
He's been in big games. He's got a wealth of experience, and plus his uncle is Harry Redknapp, who's been in, relegation fights. So I'm pretty sure he can lean on him and get some advice from him. So, but it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight. It's who rolls your sleeves up. That's who you need to be thinking now. Who do I have? Do you have the fanny players, and or do you have the ones that are going to roll the sleeves up and just give me 100% for 90 minutes? And that's what you need at the minute.
So here you go. Then I asked you the question about the championship, and we sort of gave our 4 for the playoffs. If we had to pick it today, Leslie asks if you think Leeds are going to go down. So I'll put it to you. Who would your out of the sort of if you had to say today, as of today, which
Everton, Watford, Norwich.
I would go Norwich, and I would go. I think probably the same. Leeds. I think they're just safe. The thing
I think Leeds can get a couple of games, a couple of draws, and that'll see them. That's 37 points.
But here's the thing, though, mate, which makes it unpredictable. And I think this is what Reese was saying, is Everton and Burnley have got 3 games in hand. If they win 2 and draw 1 out of those games in hand, they're out of it, really.
Right, I understand.
So say that's 7 points.
Right, so I understand this when
teams.
we're talking about it. But you go to me and have a look at Leeds' fixtures. You go to me and have a look at Everton's fixtures and show me when they've won a game back to back. Show me.
That's probably a good point. I'm not
show me.
100% sure, but I think not many of those teams have won many back-to-back, have they?
Not this year they haven't. Not Leeds haven't.
No.
And Everton haven't either. So it's all right saying that we're going to win the games in hand. It's not City and Liverpool who win every week. This is team who get beat every week.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Burnley, they've lost 3 on the bounce, but they haven't scored a goal. They've lost 2-0 to Brentford, 4-0 to Chelsea, and 2-0 to Leicester.
But then they beat Tottenham.
Yeah, but that was 4 games ago. So their last 3 games was 2-0. They lost 2-0 to Burnley, Brentford, 4-0 Chelsea, 2-0 to Burnley.
The only way I say
they beat Tottenham.
The only way I say them, mate, is that they're experienced, down there. The manager been there, down there. Players have experienced it down there. You've got players there that are going to run and going to fight. So that's the difference. That's why I'm saying, if Sean Dyche was manager of Everton and it was the other way around, I'd say they've probably got a chance, even though they haven't got the players because they've got the experience. But I don't see it. I don't see it. Everton could easily win 5 or 6 games, mate. They've got the quality. We know that. But no, the history shows you that this year they've not done it.
Spot on, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, as ever, it's been an absolute pleasure. Really appreciate you joining us and getting involved in the show while we're watching the Wales game and stuff. Let's hope that the next time we speak to you, that Wales are waiting for their Scotland or Ukraine game. But fingers crossed. And they can
look. Sorry to interrupt, mate. But look at Burnley's fixtures compared to Tottenham's. Oh, Bale 2-0.
Turn around. Get in. Go on, my son. Like what I say to you, if you score one, comfortable.
Yeah, and then looking at Burnley's fixtures. Next fixture is Man City, difficult. Everton, Norwich, West Ham, Southampton, Wolves, Watford, Aston Villa, Tottenham, Newcastle. So they play one of the top 6, where Everton play them all. They play United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Leicester twice. And Burnley play them once.
They had some big fixtures, aren't they?
Yeah, where Burnley are playing the lower half of the league. That's why I'm saying it. It's just looking at it, the fixtures. Oh, what a goal. Fired it in the top bin again. Boom.
I haven't got there yet. Look, come on, Wales. Got to hold on now and see it through. Professional. Just got to be professional now.
And then if good job fucking Si wasn't managed, he'd be sat on the bench. We'd just still 0-0.
Yeah, Bale would be 0-0 and Bale would be sat on the bench with his hat, making the heart sign to the cameras.
Yeah. Sat there practicing his tee-off shot, his golf shot. Good job, Si. Good job, Si, not the manager.
What a finish. And that's why he's the captain.
Yep.
And that's big game players, mate. That's what it is.
Yep. That's why you play them, Bet.
That's it, boy. Guys, we're gonna be doing some extra stuff. So, like with the got a new show coming on Monday soon, and it'll be an hour on the main channel. But then there'll also be an extra half an hour on Patreon for members. But so you get an extra half an hour of the live stuff if that's what you like. Only £3 a month keeps the channel going. Nice. Leslie, I'm not even going to read that as I'm trying to finish the show off to go and watch Wales win. And you've put that in my comments. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Why was
Leslie put 2-2 is my prediction for this game now. Oh, I'm ashamed. Shocked. Offended. Guys, as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. Come on, Wales. Let's have it.